الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذ قالت امرأة عمران رب إني نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا فتقبل مني إنك أنت السميع العليم فلما وضعتها قالت رب إني وضعتها أنثى والله أعلم بما وضعت وليس الذكر كالأنثى وإني سميتها مريم وإني أعيذها بك وذريتها من الشيطان الرجيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask for His forgiveness, His blessings, His protection. We send durood and salam upon Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Following last week's discussion, very brief, it was last week, talking about the period of Christmas. And to us, Christmas, we know what Christmas is. Everyone's celebrating Christmas around the world. What is Christmas? The actual meaning of Christmas, what it means to us in terms of the personalities involved behind Christmas. For example, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, and this is what's discussed normally. So what I want to discuss and highlight is the life of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, as well as his mother Mariam alayhi salam, as well as her mother Hannah and Imran alayhi salam. These personalities, and it's not just about, to us it's not just about Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned about Ali Imran. The whole family of Imran is mentioned in Ali Imran, Surah Ali Imran. This the non-Muslims probably don't know about. This is what we have to inform them. This is our job. How much we believe in Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and Mariam alayhi salam, they don't know. This is our job to inform them. So your Muslim friends in college, in university, in campus, wherever they are, you can tell them this. It's all in the Quran, this whole chapter of Ali Imran, the whole chapter of Mariam. And there's many places Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, his miracles, everything. So let's start from the beginning. Beginning is Hannah. Hannah is the grandmother of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. Nani. This is the mother of Mariam. She never had any kids. It mentioned, according to a narration, that she saw a bird feeding its chicks. As she's walking past, she sees a bird is feeding its chicks, and she had this tamanna, this desire, oh Allah, if only I had kids. And she made dua as well. She made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah bless me with a child, just how you bless this chick, and this bird is feeding its chick, and I would love to have a child. She made this dua and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted her dua. When she found that she was pregnant, she made another dua. So look at the chain of dua she made and how it's been accepted. How pious were they? How sincere were they? She made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when she found that she's pregnant. She said, إِذْ قَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ عِمْرَانَ رَبِّ إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لَكَ مَا فِي بَطْنِي مُحَرَّرًا. Ya Allah, whatever is in my womb, I would like to dedicate this child on your behalf, in your way. That time was the worship in the Bayt al-Maqdis. She said, فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي. Please, oh Allah, accept this dedication, this pledge from me. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Allah accepted that as well. She was hoping for a child, a boy child. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her Mariam instead. That time the tradition was the boy is the one who will be dedicated in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how can this? But Imran, her husband, he was the Imam of the mosque. He was a pious man, everyone knew him. So when Hannah, the Maria's grandmother, the mother of Mariam alayhi salam, when the people heard about this child, and the Imran, by the way, he passed away when she was pregnant. He passed away. So that everyone had this desire that I would want to look after this child, this Mariam. I want to look after it, this child. And this is when Zakaria ﷺ comes in. He was there as well. He was the uncle, the khalu of Mariam. Eventually, they draw a lot and he wins. That's another story I also mentioned. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted Mariam ﷺ's mother's dua and also accepted this child. And she made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that وَإِنِّي سَمَّيْتُهَا Mariam, I've kept her Mariam, وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا O Allah, and I seek refuge with you for her and her family, her progeny that's coming, her kids. وَإِنِّي أُعِيذُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا from shaitan, the outcast. Allah also accepted that dua. How? Every child in the hadith it's mentioned, every child that's born, as soon as a child is born, this child starts to cry. In the hadith it's mentioned, shaitan comes and gives a poke. So this child starts crying. Every child you see, they start crying. Except these two. Allah accepted the dua of Maryam's mother. Protect this child. Allah protected this child from shaitan. When Maryam ﷺ was born, shaitan couldn't come anywhere near. She never cried. When Isa ﷺ was born, again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected Isa ﷺ from the touch of shaitan. This is the dua that also again accepted the third time of Maryam's mother ﷺ. Now this child, she grows up. She grows up, and Allah says we gave her a good nurturing. She was a very good girl, very respectful girl. وَكَفَّلَهَا Zakaria. Zakaria ﷺ took charge. Zakaria ﷺ, as we know, he was also a prophet. He was a carpenter by trade. He used to work and he used to eat from whatever he used to earn, from his own hands. This was his job. But at the same time, he was also a prophet. Zakaria ﷺ used to look after Mariam. She used to be in the house adjacent to the mosque. As soon as he used to leave, he used to lock the door and he used to leave. One day he came and he sees Mariam ﷺ, she had fruits from all different seasons. Like for example, if it's winter, she had fruits from summer. If it's summertime, she had fruits of winter. He asked him, where did this come from? Where did you get this from? The only person coming in is me. Where did you get this from? She said, أَنَّا لَكِ هَذَا قَالَتْ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. Maryam, look at the iman Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave these people. How strong were their iman? That Zakaria ﷺ, when he saw Maryam with fruits in front of her from all different seasons, he had this thought that went through his mind. And that time Zakaria never had a child. He was an old man, he never had a child. But he knew, but he never witnessed this miracle that he saw before Maryam, that happened with Maryam alayhi salam. So a thought went through his mind, if this can happen to her, in my age, then I haven't got a child, Allah can give me a child as well. Now he's looking at himself, and this again carries on in Surah to Maryam, where he makes this dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this thought went. A man being nearly 100 years old, his wife's barren, but still he never gave up with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a few things we can take from these things. Number one, sometimes we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something. We are looking for a particular job maybe, we're looking for going into business maybe, and we think this is best for us. We've seen everything, we've done istikhara, everything's good, everything's positive. But Allah has other plans for you. Allah has other plans for us. We don't know those plans. And Allah does it according to His plan, and our plan goes to waste. For example, well, we don't understand why this has happened, but Allah knows why. He has created us. He has made us, and He knows what's best for us. So sometimes we might see something good, but in reality, it's not good for us. Zakaria ﷺ never gave up. In this current climate, we mustn't give up. Whatever happens in the world around us, we can see everyone's going through this trouble, this virus, these problems. People falling ill. Never give up. Zakaria sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the message he's given. At this old age, he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, هُنَالِكَ دَعَا زَكَرِيَّا رَبَّهُ قَالَ رَبِّ هَبْ لِي مِن لَّدُنكَ. Oh Allah, grant me a child from you. From your blessings, grant me a child. إِنَّكَ سَمِيعُ الدُّعَاءِ. And then the dua was accepted. But in Surah Mariam, it's mentioned in more details where he said, إِنِّي قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي وَهَنَ إِذْ نَادَى رَبَّهُ نِدَاءً خَفِيًّا. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala secretly. He was humble, he was quiet, and this conversation was between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, I am weak, this is my situation, I've hit an age where there's no way I can have a child. Can grant me a child. My wife is barren, there's no chance of a child. But Ya Allah, I know nothing impossible doesn't exist in your vocabulary. Nothing is impossible for you. Allah, make it happen in this state. Allah gave him the good news. فَنَادَتْهُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَهُوَ قَائِمٌ يُصَلِّي فِي الْمِحْرَابِ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يُبَشِّرُكَ بِيَحْيَى. Zakaria, angels came. We have the good news. What's the good news? We have a child. His name is Yahya. لَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ سَمِيًّا. No one else has had this name. We haven't given this name to nobody else. This is for him exclusively. To Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam. Then comes Yahya. Now he's like asking, Ya Allah, how is it going to happen? Am I going to stay in this old age, or am I going to be slightly younger? Are you going to turn me slightly younger and then we're going to have a child? No. Allah Ta'ala says, no. This is, you're going to stay in this state and I'm going to give you a child in this state. So Ya Allah, give me a sign, give me signs. قَالَ آيَتُكَ أَلَّا تُكَلِّمَ النَّاسَ ثَلَاثَ أَيَّامٍ إِلَّا رَمْزًا. The sign is, you will know when the time has come when you are unable to speak to people for 3 days except with indication, sign language. That's when you know your wife's pregnant. This is the indication. Allah accepted his dua. Then came along Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam. These people were pious people. They were connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They had this tawakkul and yaqeen on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That no matter what situation you're in, no matter what happens, no matter what we think is best for us, we always go to Allah, turn to Allah and ask Allah. Never give up. No matter what situation you're in. Zakaria salatu wasalam, this was his position. And he mentioned it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And said, Ya Allah, this is my position. What do I want a child as well. Give me a child. Then he gives him Yahya alayhi salatu wasalam. And Yahya alayhi salam is also mentioned in the Quran. Ya Yahya khudil kitab al-quwwa. He was a young man at this young age. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him wisdom, hikmah, knowledge. And being under the care of Zakaria alayhi salatu wasalam, and Mariam also, Mariam alayhi salam, she was under the care of Zakaria, under a prophet. Learning everything about religion, about the Torah, but akhlaq, everything was taught to them by Zakaria alayhi salatu wasalam. What a family they had. A family of Nabi and pious people. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all of us inshallah pious as well. So in this current climate, when things get tough, we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we ask Him, because only Allah can solve our problems. Only Allah can take away the difficulty we're in, whatever difficulty it is. This is the yaqeen we need to build within ourselves. We need to turn to Him more. We need to frequent the masjid even more now. They say, ulama say, if you want to increase your iman, come to the masjid. When you see someone coming to the masjid, you see him exiting, tell him this is the sign of a believer. We need to frequent the masjid now. Although it's limited time, come to the masjid. Wherever your local masjid is, go to your local masjids. So alhamdulillah, at least we know Jummah is still taking place. I'm sure 5 times prayer is also taking place here. Or any other masjids. Frequent your masjid. This is the sign of a person's iman. And I think we need iman right now. Iman is needed in these desperate times. Because a lot of fitna out there, a lot of confusion out there. People don't know what to do. People are confused. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy on the ummah, of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, make it easy on each and every one of us. A lot of people are ill, they've been asking for du'as, they are sick, they are in hospital. Make dua for each and every one of us, inshaAllah. And then carry on with the story, Mariam alayhi salatu wasalam. Now this Mariam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses her with unique qualities. This Mariam alayhi salam, when she was being looked after, she had a separate spot near the masjid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to send Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam to her. And this is where Mariam alayhi salatu wasalam, she sees him, and in Surah Al-Maryam is mentioned, وَاذْكُرْ فِي الْكِتَابِ مَرْيَمْ فَاتَّخَذَتْ مِن دُونِ حِجَابٍ فَأَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهَا رُوحَنَا فَتَمَثَّلَ لَهَا بَشَرًا سَوِيًّا. He came in a human form. She immediately said, إِنِّي أَعُوذُ بِالرَّحْمَنِ مِنْكَ إِن كُنْتَ تَقِيًّا. If you have any fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, stay away from me. He says, إِنَّمَا أَنَا رَسُولُ رَبِّكَ لِأَهَبَ لَكِ غُلَامًا زَكِيًّا. I have glad tidings for you. I am from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am a messenger. I have glad tidings. What's the glad tidings? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you a child. Now this Mariam alayhi salam, she says, لَمْ يَمْسَسْنِي بَشَرٌ وَلَمْ أَكُ بَغِيًّا. I'm not a bad person. No man has ever touched me. I haven't been with anyone. I haven't slept with anyone. How is it possible that I will have a child? Allah ta'ala, beautiful answer gives. He says, كَذَلِكَ. Just like that. Just like that. This is Allah. This is Allah. Inna Allah يفعل ما يشاء. He does whatever He wants, as He wants, when He. This is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jibreel says, قَالَ كَذَلِكَ. Just like that. That's how it's going to happen. You don't have to worry. Mariam alayhi salatu wasalam, at that time, should have remembered maybe when Zakaria asked her, Mariam, where did you get these fruits from? She said, هَذَا قَالَتْ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. This is from Allah. That time she says, how can it be possible? No man has touched me. I'm not a bad person. I'm a chaste woman. No one's touched me. How can this is going to happen? And this is the qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then comes along Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. But in between, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam blows in her, she falls pregnant, and then this whole حَمَلَتْهُ فَانْتَبَذَتْ بِهِ مَكَانًا قَصِيًّا. She goes in a place, فَأَجَاهَا الْمَخَاضُ إِلَى جِذْعِ النَّخْلَةِ. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands her, shake the palm tree, fresh palm tree will drop, and this is what you need to consume and eat. And then Zakaria salatu wasalam, Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, he comes along. Now she has to go back to the tribe. All the people are pious people. Everyone knew how pious she was. Everyone knew the family she came from. Mariam, what have you done? What have you done, O Mariam? How can you do this? Your father was a good person. Your mother was a good lady. What have you done? She says, she just points to Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, فَأَشَارَتْ إِلَيْهِ قَالُوا كَيْفَ نُكَلِّمُ مَنْ كَانَ فِي الْمَهْدِ صَبِيًّا. How can a child speak? And this is where the miracle of Isa alayhi salatu wasalam starts. And this inshallah will carry on next week. But to mention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put Mariam alayhi salatu wasalam through so much, and so much yaqeen they had in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the miracles after miracles after miracles started taking place. This all happened from the very beginning, from the mother of Mariam alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah wanted to show this whole Ali Imran family. There's a great purpose coming, but they have to go through a lot. So this beautiful incident is mentioned in the Quran. It's more, you have to look into it. There's a lot of details behind it. Look into it, go through it, and then teach your fellow non-Muslims. And maybe this will attract them to come towards Islam. Look into it, because they don't know about Quran. They don't know what Islam teaches. Talk to them about Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, about Mariam alayhi salam. Show them the Quran, inshallah, and maybe this will be an invitation for them to accept and come closer to Islam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy on all of us. Give us the time to, the tawfiq to practice, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum.